Dear participants, dear colleagues, on behalf of the Gorchakov Fund, I would like to welcome you all on the opening ceremony of the Scientific and Educational Program Asian Dialogue 2025. Uh, Before we begin our program, allow me to address a tragic event that occurred in the Kingdom of Thailand. On October 24, the people of Thailand suffered an irreparable loss. Her Majesty Queen Mother Sirikit passed away at the age of 94. The Queen Mother was not only a symbol of unity of the Thai nation, but also an outstanding personality who dedicated her life to serving the people, and she also has a very decisive role in our bilateral relations. And her birthday celebrated in Thailand as a Mother's Day, which vividly reflects the place she held in the hearts of the Thai people. Allow me to declare a minute of silence in memory of Her Majesty Queen Mother Sirikit and to express our deepest condolences to the royal family. Thank you. Once again, it's our pleasure to receive you all in Bangkok. And actually, the Gorchakov Fund was established by decree of the president in 2010, and this year we're celebrating our 15th anniversary. It's just the third time that we hold an Asian dialogue as our own program, and after holding it in St. Petersburg and Moscow, we have gathered here in beautiful Bangkok. On the one hand, this is very far, almost 9 hours of flight, but the same amount of time we will spend on a plane from Moscow to Vladivostok, our eastern region. The fund has many examples of conducting different programs in these different regions from Russia, Europe, Latin America, Central and Southeast Asia, but this is truly our first event and our first in-house program so far to the east in the Asian country. And we are here is a decisive moment. The Asian Summit is taking place right now, and from Asian perspective, the most significant event of the current time, which opened on October 26 in Malaysia, was the admission of the 11th member to the South Asian Association, the region's youngest state, Timor-Leste, which submitted its application to the bloc membership 14 years ago. However, we have gathered here for another equally important matter to discuss the strategic partnership between Russia and ASEAN in an era of turbulence. And indeed, the Russian and ASEAN partnership effectively contributes to ensuring stability in the Asia-Pacific region. Cooperation in the areas of politics and security is being strengthened. Positive momentum has been gained in cooperation in the spheres of economy, energy, and humanitarian ties. That is precisely why among the four main themes we will be discussing during the event are economics, politics, culture, and media. It is very important for us to hear from the younger generation their requests for topics and directions of possible cooperation between Russia and ASEAN, which is why we're all here today in Bangkok. At the same time, we have with us today outstanding experts, diplomats, and scholars who will share their knowledge and experience, and to whom we are certainly grateful for the opportunity to speak before you in person despite their busy schedules. Allow me to welcome and give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Evgeny Tomikhin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Russian Federation to the Kingdom of Thailand.
Morning. Good morning, Sawadee. Добрый день. First of all, I would like to use this opportunity to express my deepest condolences to the royal Thai family, the government, and people of Thailand on passing of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother. She was a great woman and a very important person in Russian-Thai relations. I would like to express my appreciation to all co-organizers of this event. Actually, we know that the main events today are in Kuala Lumpur, annual ASEAN Summit, but it's part of ASEAN life. We have ASEAN discussions today here in Sinakharinwirot University. So I would like to thank Sinakharinwirot University as well as MGIMO friends for initiating and organizing this seminar, this conference. For over a quarter of a century, Russia and ASEAN have nurtured a unique partnership that has not only stood the test of time, but has also evolved into a strategic pillar of regional stability. Today, as international order transitions toward multipolarity, or as President Putin said, polycentric world, our dialogue partnership represents a model of how states can cooperate on the basis of equality, mutual respect, and shared benefits. Russia regards ASEAN as a central element of the Asia-Pacific architecture and a trusted partner. In turn, ASEAN has consistently welcomed Russia's constructive role. The formalization of Russia-ASEAN relations began in 1996, when Russia became a full dialogue partner of ASEAN. This marked the beginning of a structured, long-term relationship that soon encompassed a wide range of political, economic, and socio-cultural dimensions. Milestones such as the 2005 Kuala Lumpur Summit, the 2016 Commemorative Summit in Sochi, 2018 Summit in Singapore, and the 2021 Online Summit provided further impetus for strengthening cooperation. The designation of Russia-ASEAN relations as a strategic partnership in 2018 was a recognition of accumulated trust and shared objectives. It signaled our joint commitment to address pressing regional and global issues, including security, development, education, science, and culture. Importantly, the partnership has always been premised on ASEAN centrality, a principle that Russia fully respects. We attach importance to cooperation with ASEAN in the areas of politics and security, focusing on the development of an equitable, balanced, and transparent system of interstate relations in the Asia-Pacific region. Russia consistently advocates for strengthening ASEAN's central role in regional affairs and seeks to deepen coordination with the ASEAN association within the framework of East Asian summits, the ASEAN Regional Security Forum, ASEAN Defense Ministers meetings and dialogue partners, and other multilateral associations. In practical terms, an important area of joint efforts is combining global threats and challenges as they impact the Asia-Pacific region, including terrorism, transnational crime, drug trafficking, and cybercrime, where Russia worked for years to find balanced approaches to common terminology. Currently, Russia-ASEAN relations operate through a complex multi-level system of interaction at the ministerial level, with meetings of foreign ministers and consultations of economic ministers. The Russian Minister of Internal Affairs participates in the ASEAN Conference. The Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs received dialogue partner status with this organization in 2014. By the way, next week exactly will be the ASEAN Conference here in Bangkok, and we expect to see the Russian Minister of Interior in Thailand. Meetings of the Ministers of Culture, Transport Ministers, and Defense Ministers of Russia and ASEAN are also held, and also there is a new track, the regular meetings between National Security Councils of Russia and ASEAN countries. The comprehensive plan of action for the ASEAN and Russia strategic partnership 2021 to 2025 is being actively implemented. There are numerous joint projects and programs in the fields of economy development, capacity building, culture, sports, education, and science. Law enforcement training courses to explore the Russian experience in combating terrorism are being conducted annually for experts from ASEAN countries. In the past years, Russia and ASEAN have faced an array of challenges that no single nation can address alone. The COVID-19 pandemic tested the resilience of our societies, economies, and healthcare systems. Russia was among the first to offer vaccines and scientific collaboration, while ASEAN partners engaged actively in sharing best practices, thereby demonstrating the practical value of solidarity. Since 2024, Russia officially became an ASEAN digital partner. It is a significant step towards the development of technological innovation and digital cooperation between Russia and ASEAN. One of the new areas of cooperation between Russia and ASEAN is nuclear energy. It might be nuclear energy. Last month, the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation, Rosatom, in partnership with ASEAN Center of Energy, organized the session Nuclear Energy Solutions for ASEAN Countries on the margins of the World Atomic Week in Moscow. The session brought together policymakers, experts, and representatives of international organizations and nuclear technology providers to discuss pathways for the development of nuclear power in the South and Southeast Asia. Russia and ASEAN strive to the formation of a multipolar world based on sovereignty, sovereign equality, and inviolability of international law. It is precisely this convergence that allows our partnership to flourish. We do not dictate to one another, or on the contrary, we engaged in dialogue. We do not seek to create exclusive blocks, we build bridges. In this regard, Russia's concept of the Greater Eurasian Partnership proposed by President Vladimir Putin offers a framework for linking in integration processes across the continent, from the Eurasian Economic Union to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS and ASEAN. Rather than replacing existing mechanisms, it aims to create synergies, reduce fragmentation, and promote connectivity in trade, energy, infrastructure, and people-to-people contacts. Russia's support for ASEAN centrality, neutrality, and inclusiveness directly serves these objectives. 2026 will become a commemorative year which will mark the 35th anniversary of Russia-ASEAN relations. In this regard, we plan to hold a series of events. Looking ahead, Russia stands ready to continue working hand in hand with ASEAN partners to build a just, balanced, and sustainable regional and global order. Our shared future depends not on confrontation but on cooperation, not on dominance but on dialogue. Thanks for your attention, and I would like to express my appreciation again for all organizers, and I wish this conference fruitful, interesting, and very useful for all participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Right now, I would like to ask to turn on the video because we have a speech from His Excellency Mr. Sasibat Wongsin Sawat, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of Thailand to the Russian Federation. He, of course, right now performs its diplomatic service in Moscow, but he underlines the importance of our event and address to our participants, our dear guests, via video message.
His Excellency Mr. Kasik Pure, former Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Thailand. His Excellency Mr. Yevgeny Tumikin, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Kingdom of Thailand. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greeting from Moscow. It is my pleasure to join the distinguished speakers and all of you at the opening ceremony of the Asian Dialogue 2025, co-hosted by the Gorchakov Fund, MGIMO University and Sinakharinwirot University in Bangkok today. Let me begin by commending the cohorts for their joint collaboration and willingness to foster interaction and dialogue among participants from Russia and Asian countries, particularly ASEAN. Your decision to host this event in Thailand reflects the long and cordial bilateral relations between Thailand and Russia for 128 years, as well as our constructive contribution to ASEAN. It is also my profound privilege to express my personal respect to His Excellency Mr. Kasit Pirot, former Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Thailand, a former ambassador of Thailand to the then Soviet Union, and my former boss. His Excellency is one of the prominent figures in Thailand-Russia relations. His views and comments will certainly contribute to fruitful discussion at this event. Ladies and gentlemen, the Asian Dialogue this year, focusing on ASEAN and its relations with Russia, is timely amid the current global geopolitical and economic challenges. The theme of this dialogue is pertinent to the review of how best drive the ASEAN-Russia dialogue partnership for sustainable peace, security, stability, and prosperity in the region. For almost 6 decades, ASEAN has faced many challenges and gone through transformative change successfully. The spirit of solidarity has reinforced the ASEAN community. Collective efforts have formed steady progress in the 3 pillars of ASEAN and expansion of partnership with our dialogue partners and other interested countries. All of this are the testament that ASEAN is stronger when we stand together. Therefore, ASEAN unity is key to effectively cope with challenges in the age of turbulence. Looking ahead, to leap forward into the secure and prosperous future, ASEAN is required to be inward, outward, and forward-looking. Inward-looking simply suggests to keep the internal conditions of our region calm and stable. Problems in the region must be solved peacefully and constructively by our own mechanisms, while upholding the ASEAN core values and principles. Outward-looking is to reach out and welcome new partners with constructive role, while vigorously preserving a solid and mutually beneficial relationship with our existing partners. Importantly, to achieve the long-lasting stability, security, and prosperity of ASEAN and the region, a forward-looking approach is indispensable. ASEAN must be able to set our own agendas that are useful for our own members and our people. I hope what I just said will offer some food for thought for this dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to learning from the discussion by experts and participants on the roles of Russia as dialogue and strategic partners of ASEAN that are desirable and acceptable for countries in the region. With that said, I wish to thank once again to the host for your great contribution in strengthening academic cooperation between Thailand and Russia. On our part, the Royal Thai Embassy in Moscow has been continuously conducting academic institutions in Russia and Thailand, including Sinakharinwirot University. For example, in December this year, a roundtable on mathematics, science, engineering, and arts will take place in Moscow. This event is jointly organized by the Thai and Russian academic institutions, led by Jakarta Technology Institute, MGIMO, and Caltech in Moscow. Through educational cooperation in different areas and subjects, people-to-people understanding will be deeper for stronger bond and mutual benefit of the countries. We'll continue to work closely with relevant agencies to elevate educational cooperation to a higher plane. And in closing, I wish to welcome all foreign participants to Thailand. I hope that you find time to explore my beautiful country. And I also wish all of you a fruitful discussion and constructive group project. Thank you very much. สวัสดีครับ
And the importance of the event in terms of bilateral and multilateral relations of Russia and Asian countries also underline the attention represents of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. And today with us, Deputy Director General of the Department of ASEAN Affairs, Mr. Chada Bakhtar.
His Excellency Ambassador Yevgeny Tomikin, His Excellency Ambassador Sasivat Wongsingsawat, who joined us online, His Excellency Ambassador Kasit Pirop, our former Foreign Minister of Thailand, Dr. Poong Munsin of Sinakharinwirot University, Dr. Yekaterina Podunova of MGIMO University, Excellencies, distinguished participants, dear colleagues, a very good morning to all of you and a warm welcome to Bangkok. It is truly a pleasure to see so many esteemed guests and passionate young leaders gather here today for the ASEAN Dialogue 2025. Let me begin by commending Sinakharinwirot University, the Alexander Gorchakov Public Diplomacy Fund, and the ASEAN Center at MGIMO University for joining hands to make this initiative possible. This forum captures a very essence of the ASEAN-Russia relation and cooperation, where genuine dialogue, mutual respect, and shared aspiration for a better future are cherished by both sides. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of visiting the ASEAN Center at the MGIMO University during the inaugural meeting of the network of ASEAN-Russia think tanks held in Moscow at the MGIMO in April 2018. I was inspired by the dedication of the Russian side to connect with ASEAN and vice versa through the people-to-people connections, especially among young people who are indeed our future. The event today comes at a very exciting time, at least for two reasons. First, as this year 2025 marks an important milestone in the development in ASEAN, as it has just adopted a new Community Vision 2045, paving its future for the next 20 years. Second, as we look ahead to 2026, both ASEAN and Russia will celebrate the 35th anniversary of their relation, as Ambassador Tomikin had just mentioned. Both sides have already begun considering a range of activities to celebrate this auspicious occasion, including a possible convening of an ASEAN-Russian summit. We also look forward to a year of meaningful initiative that will deepen our cooperation, including young and educational exchanges. The event today could indeed be a good start for us to brainstorming possible initiative and prospect for the ASEAN-Russian future cooperation. However, as we stand now, the ASEAN-Russia strategic partnership, as Ambassador Sasivat mentioned, is vibrant and full of potentials. Over the years, it has grown into a comprehensive framework of collaboration, including the areas of politics, economics, energy, science and innovation, as well as youth, culture, and Timor-Leste as its 11th member. A proud and historic moment for the ASEAN family. And later on today, the Russian will also take part in the 20th East Asia Summit in Kuala Lumpur. All this demonstrates that the ASEAN-Russian relations are well established and active, and indeed awaiting for all participants to further explore its full potential throughout the program. So without further ado, I wish a truly inspiring and fruitful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we know how busy your department and ministry right now is, and it means even more to us that you can speak. Yeah. Both ambassadors underscore the role of His Excellency Mr. Kasit Piramaya, former Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand, who also has served as ambassador to the Soviet Union and Russian Federation, had played a key role in current status of our bilateral relations. So, His Excellency, the floor is yours.
Sawasdee krab, Excellencies and dear colleagues, thank you very much for this honor and to be able to be relinked again with the activities of the Russian Federation in Thailand and in the ASEAN region in general. I have 2 points. One is about the future of ASEAN. And second is the role of Russian Federation in the new ASEAN. On the first point, I have 2 words. ASEAN as a people-centered entity. And the second word is ASEAN centrality. And I have come to the conclusion that both words are quite a dream, a delusion indeed. And we should not continue to pretend that ASEAN as a people-centered organization is a reality, something tangible. Or ASEAN centrality in the happenings of the Indo-Pacific region is really in operation. On the first point about the people-centered ASEAN, in spite of this declaration about the vision of the ASEAN community for the year 2045, it will be another beautiful word. What is really needed to put substance into the ASEAN-centered principle is for a complete transformation of the ASEAN community to be really people-centered. And for the people to be at the center of all things, then the 650 million ASEAN citizens must be able to live in a very conducive environment of freedom, of the sort of comfort without fear. And people-centered ASEAN cannot go on as it has been going on for many decades with absolutism in Brunei, a one-party communist rule in Vietnam as well as in Laos, a one-family rule in Cambodia, a military domination in Myanmar, almost a one-party system in Singapore, and that leaves Timor-Leste, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and to a lesser extent Thailand, where democracy is still at work, although it needs a lot of improvement. Then what is my point? I would like to use this opportunity to propose that there must be a democratic transformation of the ASEAN community. In the ASEAN entity itself and in each of the ASEAN member states. We have to go into the direction of what the European Union has already achieved. A democratic entity in spirit and in practice. And for the ASEAN to move further into the world at large and to be a force to be reckoned with, it has to have an identity. During the Cold War, ASEAN has the identity of being an organization that was against communism. It also opted for a capitalist or free market economy and participated in the then semi-globalized world. With the demise of the Cold War, ASEAN participated fully as a global player in the era of globalization, entered into many dialogue partnerships with so many countries around the world. ASEAN became a global player, a participation in the concept of connectivity and independency and so on. But of late, the past 10 years more or less, the big power, rivalry and all of that. But before going to that, let me put an emphasis again that from now on, ASEAN must start thinking seriously about democracy to really make the word people-centered ASEAN a meaningful and realistic one. That's the first part. Then let me come back to the word ASEAN centrality. It was all right when we set up the ASEAN Regional Forum. We had summit. We invited major world leaders to come and so on. It's happening now down south in Kuala Lumpur. But that's only a sort of a form of centrality, but not a substance. Because the past decades, we have seen the emergence of the corruptible cooperation in the name of the Quads arrangement. Then we saw the emergence of another entity called August, and a series of trilateral security military arrangements and cooperation. The United States with Japan and South Korea, the United States, Japan, the Philippines. Then we have Japan, the Philippines, Vietnam, and India, all of this, and Australia, and so on. Then at the same time, we were, I think, led me to the new word called civilization state, expressed by the Russian leadership and the Chinese leadership. Then we have been seeing the special military relationship between the Russian Federation and North Korea. All of these happenings of the past decades, there was no presence at all of the word or the principle of ASEAN centrality. ASEAN was put off the screen, ignored completely. There was no prior notification or prior consultation by all the major dialogue partners of ASEAN about what they were going to do with one another. ASEAN was left outside the meeting room or the international arena. And ASEAN has been quite complacent. So it's about time that ASEAN takes stock of itself and put the principle of ASEAN centrality into a reality. And to do that, how? I would like to remind all of us that ASEAN is in possession of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, peacemaking, cooperation, settlement of disputes by peaceful means. Then we have two very important declarations. Southeast Asia as a nuclear-free zone, and Southeast Asia as a sort of freedom, peace, and neutrality. Ambassador just mentioned the word neutrality. So I would like to suggest that for ASEAN centrality to be a realistic one, the present and future leadership, academic world, and so on of ASEAN have to start thinking, discussing about a new identity for ASEAN. No longer anti-communism, no longer a global partners in the globalized world, but an entity that should be able to build the respect and for ASEAN to play the role in the international arena. And for that, my second proposal, beside the baptization of ASEAN, is for ASEAN to declare itself as a non-aligned entity, opted for neutrality. With that, a neutral ASEAN can be a bridge for the all antagonistic powers in the region. It could come out with moderating voice, the voice of moderation, of compromise, of harmony, and so on. Because the new ASEAN, neutral one, would not be linked or allied to any of the conflicting powers, and so on. So 2 points for dear colleagues for you to contemplate. For my bureaucratic friends and my political friends to really think for the new course of direction of ASEAN as a democratic entity and as a neutral, non-aligned body. On the second point, where would all of this place the Russian Federation? I would urge and hope and suggest that Russia would support ASEAN becoming a non-aligned, neutral entity. And through that, I would like to urge Russia to whisper to the Chinese ears to mellow down on their aggressive behavior in the South China Sea. Because so far the past decades, I am a bit disappointed, sad, to see Russian presence in the Western Pacific, in the Indo-Pacific region, more from the military and security point of view. I am not happy with the joint military exercises between Russia and China in and around the Sea of Japan, around the major islands of Japan and so on. I am not at all in favor of special military relationship between Russia and North Korea. Is it necessary that much? And I think there should be restart of the negotiation on the disputed islands from the Russian Federation or Japan as a major step towards reconciliation and peacemaking, and would be an example to the world at large that two major powers can come together at the negotiating table. And I think the civilizational relationship between China and Russia should lead to the enhancement of all the aspects of a civilization. Peace, harmony, cooperation, mutual assistance, mutual respect, and not the notion of confrontation, not the notion of rearmament, not the notion of military development, modernization, and so on. Russia is still a member of the UN Security Council, and it should use that position also to bring about some sense of proportion within the UN Security Council. Because since the very inception of the United Nations and the creation of UNSC, which should be working for the common good of mankind, UNSC has been the cause of the problems to this very day. And Russia, as a great civilizational power, could reset its course and be the mover of peace, be the peacemaker. It is in the position to do so. Such a large country as striding both the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. There is no hindrances for Russia civilizational state to play a civilization promotion role. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ
Thank you very much for your frank, intelligent, and so necessary words. It's some discussion I think we will have on coffee break after your speech, but you set the tone for our future discussions. And as I told before, when I came up with the idea of the Asian dialogue abroad, I called to Ekaterina and discussed this idea with her firstly, and she just said, let's do it in Thailand. I said, why Thailand? And she said that here MGIMO ASEAN Center has a strong, very organizational part, strong partner as Sinakharinwirot University. And I would like to thank our Thailandese colleagues because we could not have gathered here without your help, this idea. And I would like to give the floor for welcoming words to Dr. Ziba, Associate Professor, Vice President for Organizational Development and Special Affairs, and Assistant Dean of the Faculty of Social Science, Gorchakov University.
สวัสดีครับ Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, staff with the ASEAN. สวัสดีทุกท่านครับ It is my profound honor to stand before you this morning. I am Associate Professor Dr. Mulasin, Vice President for Organizational Development and Special Affairs and Acting Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences at Sinakharinwirot University. On behalf of our university, I extend a warm welcome to the International Academic Program ASEAN Dialogue 2025, jointly organized by Sinakharinwirot University, the ASEAN Center, and at MGIMO University, and the Alexander Gorchakov Public Diplomacy Fund. This gathering unites distinguished scholars, practitioners, and young professionals here in the vibrant heart of Bangkok. ASEAN Dialogue 2025 is conceived as a platform to confront challenges and explore opportunities in Russia-ASEAN relations across economics, security, communication, humanitarian cooperation, and the media. Through these exchanges, we aim to foster collaboration, inspire learning, and build lasting connectors. We are profoundly privileged to be graced today by our honored guests, whose steadfast support continues to strengthen the bonds between Thailand and Russia and ASEAN. His Excellency Yevgeny Tomikin, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Kingdom of Thailand. His Excellency Sasiwat Wong Sinsawat, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand to the Russian Federation. Miss Suchada Mekhara, Deputy Director General Department of ASEAN Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. Mr. Kasit Pirong, former Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand. Dr. Ekaterina Kadunova, Director of the ASEAN Center, MGIMO University. We are honored to welcome Mr. Sergei Olalov, Deputy Executive Director of the Alexander Gorchakov Public Diplomacy Support Fund, together with our distinguished speakers and participants whose presence enriches this gathering. Your presence is both a testament to the significance of this occasion and a symbol of our shared commitment to deeper academic exchange, cultural understanding, and lasting friendship among Russia, ASEAN, and Thailand. May ASEAN Dialogue 2025 stand as a bridge of trust and partnership, guiding us toward peace, prosperity, and shared progress. With deepest respect, may I now invite Your Excellency to deliver the opening address and declare this historic conference open. Thank you very much. Spasiba. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you. Thank you very much. And from the all list of speakers, we have only one person, the scientific director of our program, who really did a lot for its happening. Dr. Ekaterina Koldunova, Director, ASEAN Center, MGIMO University. Please, floor is yours.
Dear colleagues and friends, Your Excellencies, this is a great honor to welcome all of you here and to speak to our participants today. Let me start with expressing my deep condolences on the passing away of Queen Mother Sirikit. This is indeed a great loss for all of us, and we will be remembering her with soreness and sweet and good words and memories. On the note of our today's dialogue, I should say just a few words because we have strict timing and we have to proceed to our follow-up sessions. This is a moment of very intense transformation for ASEAN, for Russia, and for their strategic partnership, but also for the entire world. And our today's panel, I think, is very thought-provoking because we heard opinions from the practitioners from Russian and Thai side. We heard the very valued opinion from His Excellency Kasit, who used to be the practitioner and who can enjoy the freedom of thought right now. I would say from the academic point of view that ASEAN has been
undergoing through a very difficult time. It is to include East Timor, and it's not easy to get additional member and to bring sustainable development to all the variety of 11 member states now. ASEAN faces challenges within the region, and it faces also challenges in its external relations. With all due respect, I would never wish my ASEAN friends to have democracy like in Europe, because we have been witnessing so many dramatic, uh, well, transformations. I would put a diplomatic word here in the European democracy that I would never wish you to have it. I would wish you instead to find your own way to your democratic coexistence in the region. And I would wish you your own way to finding ASEAN centrality and neutrality. Well, the idea of having neutral ASEAN is super great, and I would personally welcome it very much. But it will mean that those ASEAN friends who and we have the rise of new forms of multilateral cooperation beyond the West. In this situation, I'm quite optimistic about ASEAN because ASEAN brings to the table lots of indigenous innovations in terms of how to build relations with diverse partners with different political systems without, challenging and subjugating that. And this experience of inclusivity, of living together despite of problems inside your neighbors, is indeed a very valued experience. This is why the topic of Asian dialogue this year is devoted to ASEAN, its strategic partnership with Russia, and their interaction with the wider world, with BRICS, with Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Eurasian Economic Union. And sorry to say that was my authoritative decision to impose these topics upon you, and I hope that you will survive through these 2 days of discussion on this topic. I hope you all will find our debate useful and interesting for your own professional interests. And in response, you will be able to contribute your own ideas to our debate. If you want, we will force you because we will have 4 moderators observing how intensely you debate during these days. Finally, but most importantly, huge thanks go to our fantastic site partners, Sinakharinwirot University, Adnan, colleagues from other departments, to Thailand's embassy in Moscow, because they were very helpful in orchestrating and organizing their part of the role. To Russia's embassy in Bangkok, huge thanks for being so supportive and really, I felt like I rely on strong men, and now I face them, and I really see that these are really strong men, reliable colleagues and friends. And well, to the MP of Thailand, of course, because I know you are super busy. ASEAN events are going round and round the globe, but still you have found time to visit and welcome us here. And Sergey mentioned this is the first event of its kind for Gorchakov Foundation for the ASEAN Center as well. And we are navigating the troubled waters. So I hope that all together we will be finding a way to go through these troubled waters with, in the most fun way as we can do that. Thank you very much. Khop kun ka.
Thank you very much, Katerina. And before the opening ceremony concludes, allow me to once again give the floor to Dr. Poon for the ceremony of the exchanging of gifts.
the ASEAN.
Also, I would like to give the same opportunity to Ekaterina, because the ASEAN Center of MGIMO also prepared some presents for our Thailandese colleagues. And sorry for that, but the Gorchakov Fund also have the presents, and you have to suffer 1 more minute. We almost have a New Year Eve right now, and I think that all speakers would like to see their presence. So on this note, we can make a group photo of all our distinguished guests, and then we will move on with the presentation of Dr. Ekaterina Koldanova.
That's all. Thank you very much for